All right, so ready to dive into a world where billionaires aren't just like, writing checks for charity. They're taking matters into their own hands.
Literally.
Literally, yeah. The Billionaire Assassin throws us right into this world, this crazy world where this billionaire assassin, he finds out that, his next target, she might be in the same deadly game.
It's really, it's such a cool twist on that whole, billionaire philanthropist thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
It makes you, look at all those galas and headlines, all that charity stuff, and wonder, is it for real? Or is it all just, a big show?
A facade, yeah. Exactly. So this all goes down in Manhattan. Picture it. Yeah. Skyscrapers, those fancy parties, and, a ton of secrets hiding, under the surface. And that's where we meet Alexander Hawke. This guy, he's got it all looks, charm, billions, and he's all about clean energy.
Right.
But there's more to him than meets the eye.
Right.
Way more.
He's living this double life. You see him 1 minute hanging out with the elite, and then boom, he's in some VIP suite, changing into tactical gear, taking out an arms dealer, just like that.
So smooth.
Crazy efficient, Makes you wonder, how does someone even separate those two parts of their life? What does that do to a person,
Yeah, what's the psychological, right?
Yeah. The psychological impact, exactly.
And get this, he just strolls back to the party like nothing happened.
It's wild.
As if taking out an arms dealer is just, another Tuesday night.
Another day at the office, right?
Right. But then the game changes big time.
Yeah.
Hawke gets his next target, and it's Olivia Kane.
Now, here's the twist.
Yeah, hit me.
Olivia, she's also a billionaire, also a philanthropist, and you guessed it, she's an assassin too.
Oh, come on. What are the odds?
It's like looking in a mirror, but a deadly one.
And Olivia's character, she's just as interesting, maybe even more. She's super successful, powerful, but she's always on edge,
Yeah.
Always one step ahead. There's this scene where she finds a super high-tech bug in her system.
Oh, yeah.
Shows you how careful she is, how she's always watching her back.
Yeah.
And she's right to be suspicious because, turns out Alexander Hawke, he's the one watching her.
That's when things get really interesting.
Yeah, so the big question is, why her? Is it just another job, or is there something more going on?
Right. Is it personal? We need answers.
Well, what we do know is that they're both really good at what they do, Hawke and Kane. But it's like someone's pulling the strings above them.
Absolutely. They're players in a game they don't even fully understand.
Pawns, yeah.
Pawns in a much bigger scheme.
And all this, it comes to a head when they both show up at this meeting with an arms dealer, Mikhail Volkov.
Oh, this scene.
Intense. An abandoned warehouse. Super shady. Right?
Oh, yeah. And they both have their own reasons for being there, totally unaware of each other.
Yeah, until things get messy.
Oh, they get messy, all right. The dealer ends up dead. But here's the kicker. Both Hawke and Kane, they took him out at the same time.
Talk about a twist.
It's this kill, right? The shared kill that suddenly ties them together. They're bound by it, forced to face the fact that they're both being played.
And their individual missions, they don't matter anymore. It's all about survival now. They have to work together to figure out who's behind all of this.
Uneasy alliance is an understatement.
Yeah, and trust is like a luxury item they can't afford.
Especially in their line of work.
Right, exactly. So they make a strategic retreat to this secluded island, a chance to get away from everything, figure things out.
Even the journey there, it's like a metaphor, Stormy boat ride, feeling isolated.
Yeah, totally. Like a reflection of what's going on with them. And the island itself, it's almost like their lives, Remote, secure, owned by some mysterious person, full of secrets.
Oh, definitely.
But even in this, paradise, the tension between them, it's still there. They need each other, but they're both so suspicious. It's a constant, push and pull.
It's a dance, right?
A dangerous one.
Yeah.
But back in their normal lives, things are falling apart. Olivia, she needs to disappear, completely. So she comes up with this cover story about some big project and tells everyone at her company she's got to go off the grid.
It just shows you how high the stakes are, right? She's not just protecting herself, she's protecting everything she's built.
Her whole empire.
Yeah.
But back on the island, the mystery gets deeper.
Deeper and deeper.
Olivia's going through intel, and she finds this name that keeps popping up. Wren.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and she knows this isn't just some random guy, this Wren. He's got connections, serious connections.
And we're not talking about, your average social network. Wren is embedded deep deep within both their organizations.
He's the puppet master.
Pulling the strings, calling the shots, government, corporations, even the military. He's got his fingers on everything.
Blackmail, taking over companies, putting his people in the right places. It's like he's playing a real-life game of Risk.
Except the stakes are way higher.
Way higher, yeah. And then, well, it gets personal for Olivia. Really personal. Her most trusted person, Eleanor, her second in command, she's the mole.
Oof. Talk about a betrayal.
I know. The one person she thought she could count on, working for Wren this whole time.
Wren's a master manipulator. He knew exactly how to play Eleanor, using her ambition, her, maybe some resentment she had.
It's scary to think, right, how someone can get so close to you and be using you like that.
It makes you question everything, everyone.
And as they dig deeper, they start to see Wren's true plan. He doesn't just want money or power over companies. He wants something much bigger, something that could, change the world. And Olivia, she has the key to stopping him.
She's got this dossier, right? Evidence that could bring Wren's whole operation crashing down.
So he has to get rid of her. It's not about rivalry anymore. It's about survival.
It's all-out war. And that's where we leave you hanging for now. But in part 2, we'll see Alexander and Olivia fight back. It gets intense.
Okay, so last time, things were not looking so good for our billionaire assassins. They found out they were basically puppets in Wren's game. And this Wren guy, he's not messing around.
He's playing for keeps, that's for sure. Wants control, the whole picture, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty.
But Alexander and Olivia, they're not the kind to just, give up. They're fighters. They know the stakes, not just for themselves, but for everyone else caught in Wren's web.
And what's amazing is how they decide to fight back. It's not just, brute force. It's a whole strategy, multi-pronged, playing to their strengths. Olivia, she's got the public image, the connection, so she goes for the, the more public route. Alexander, he's more in the shadows.
It's like a chess game, right?
Oh, totally.
Every move is calculated, trying to take down Wren's empire, piece by piece. Olivia, she starts leaking information to journalists she trusts. Little by little, chipping away at Wren's reputation.
It's that classic, death by 1,000 cuts strategy, right?
Yeah.
A direct attack, that might not work. But these little bits of information, rumors, whispers, it makes people start to doubt, to question everything.
We see it all the time, in the real world. Politics, companies, it's the slow drip of information that brings people down.
Exactly. And while Olivia's doing that, Alexander's busy building his own network. He's going to those who've been hurt by Wren, getting them on his side. Risky, for sure, but it shows how he can get people to trust him, to be loyal, even when things are really bad.
So you got these two different approaches happening at the same time. Olivia's using the media, the public, even the law. Alexander, he's building a force that's, ready to strike from the shadows. It's like there's not just one way to fight for what's right. Sometimes you got to work outside the system.
Absolutely. And to give themselves some breathing room to throw Wren off, Olivia comes up with this decoy plan.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant.
Makes Wren think he's winning, which makes his fall even better.
It's like those heist movies, all the pieces coming together for the big showdown.
Yeah.
And that showdown, it's intense. All their planning, Olivia's leaks, they've weakened Wren, Alexander's network, they've hit Wren where it hurts.
Cut off his resources, messed up his communication, he's isolated, vulnerable.
And then, bam, they lure him into a trap. He's got nowhere to go, has to face what he's done. And it's not just about revenge, it's about, justice. Wren gets arrested, his whole empire falls apart.
The impact is huge. Resignations, investigations, it goes on and on. It shows you what happens when ambition goes too far, how power can corrupt.
It's satisfying seeing him go down, but what I found really interesting is, what happens after. It's not just happily ever after. There's stuff to deal with, consequences. And that betrayal, that's going to take time to heal.
Exactly. It's not that simple. Wren might be in jail, but there's still Eleanor. She's gone, vanished. But Olivia, she's not letting her get away.
She's angry. But it's more than that. It's about responsibility. She has to hold Eleanor accountable.
And she does it in such a smart way. Starts a rumor, plays on Eleanor's ego, her desperation, lures her right out.
It's like poetic justice, right? She uses the same tactics Wren used, but for good. It shows that no matter how powerful someone is, they have to answer for what they do.
And the media, they go crazy after Wren's arrest. Digging deeper, showing everyone just how bad it was. The public wants answers, they want change.
It reminds you how important it is to have, a free press. The truth has power, especially when it comes to those in charge. Justice isn't just about punishment, it's about exposing the lies, making things right.
And when all the chaos dies down, there's this feeling of peace. But it's a fragile peace,
Yeah.
The world's different now. Alexander and Olivia, they've been through so much. Faced danger, betrayal, and now they're at a crossroads.
Ren's gone, Eleanor too. Justice is served, but what about Alexander and Olivia? What happens to them? The story doesn't really say, does it?
It's like, yeah, the storm's over, but you can still feel it in the air, right? That tension. They went through a lot together, all that danger, the lies. That changes people.
Definitely. And that's what I like about the ending. It doesn't wrap everything up perfectly.
Yeah.
Makes you think, what happens next? Can two people like them, living in the shadows, so used to being alone, can they actually have something real?
It gets you right in the feels, doesn't it? It goes back to what the book's really about, power, how it can be good and bad, all those secrets. And if people can actually change, even after doing some pretty dark stuff.
Because it's not just an action story, right? It makes you think about, what would I do if I had that much power? Would I use it to help people? Would I just, get greedy? Would I end up like Ren?
Big questions, no easy answers.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so good, It's not telling you what to think. It's showing you this complicated world, and you got to figure it out for yourself.
I agree. That's what makes a story stick with you. Makes you look at your own life, your own choices.
If you haven't read it, The Billionaire Assassin, do yourself a favor and check it out. It's a wild ride, action, mystery, makes you think, what more could you want?
And if you've already read it, tell us what you think. What stuck with you? Any theories about Alexander and Olivia? Let's talk about it.
That's what we do here, right? We dive into these stories, these big ideas. We look for those hidden gems, those things that make you go, never thought about it like that.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those tough questions, and keep diving deep with us.